Hey guys, today I'm gonna be doing a new clock collection update. So I use TikTok, so let's get started. Okay, the first one is this Johan's RNA clock, but I thought it was working right here and it wasn't working, and I put it here and it wasn't working, and I must fix it on the whole day, and now it's working. I'm gonna try also tomorrow how it will work. If it stops, I'm gonna put it somewhere else.
Okay.
On the wall. Okay. The first one is this Mickey Mouse cuckoo clock. Get the whole thing on it. Show it a little bit close. Okay. Now this is a Dr. House clock. And oh, I forgot the chime on this clock. Now we got this cat clock. It's a very cool clock with moving eyes. Here's the barometer and the thermometer. And here's the smiling alarm clock or wall clock. It is hung up because of this. Here's my singing bird clock. And here is a Seth Thomas clock. Here are these two clocks, but this one doesn't have a minute hand, but we can buy one. Yeah. Here is a RNA clock, but this is another one. That one is the new one.
Yeah.
I got this clock from 3 months ago. So, yeah, it chimes like this. It chimes very cool. Well, so this clock has a long pendulum, but this one has a small one.
Short one.
This is the short one. This is the long one. But sometimes this pendulum does wiggle and it stops working, but it doesn't wiggle. I must push the pendulum very carefully. Okay, now this one is a vintage clock with beautiful pink flowers on it. And here is a quartz clock. And this one is the espresso coffee clock. And we buy this clock actually from Bulgaria. I think the glass is plastic. I don't know. Here is a clock that has a gold second hand on it. Here's my coffee clock, but it doesn't look like the correct time, but I'm gonna do it. Okay. Now I'm gonna move this clock. Just be like this. Now I'm gonna...
Mama?
No, Come on. Yes. I made it. Now here is the clock, but it's like circle, but it looks like the inside, but it is a clock. But it has a chime. Yeah, I do pretend chimes because I like doing pretend chimes. Here is American flag clock. Okay. Here is my silver pendulum clock. And it has a cool pendulum. And here a colorful clock. It has so many colors on the numbers, but yeah, it's still a cool clock. And this one is a rose gold clock, as you can see. It's so beautiful, look. I like this clock. The next one is this Junghan's octagon clock right here. It's Junghan's and it's quartz too. It has a cool red second hand on it. Now here is my classic clock, my monster clock, my clock right here. It does have a chime. Okay. Here is my trunk clock. This one. Here is my atomic digital wall clock. Here is my quartz cuckoo clock. I'm so careful here. I'm a safety hero. Here is my outdoor indoor clock. It's like an outdoor clock, guys. Sometimes it can be an outdoor indoor clock, but yeah, it is an outdoor indoor clock, right? Okay, here is a small white clock right here on the wall. And here is this clock. It does have gold hands, but I can make a chime. Oh, I must turn the chime on. Okay, here is my school clock, my Batman clock. Here is my pink clock. It's dead, but I still like it. I'm gonna change the battery on it. I'm gonna change the battery tomorrow when I finish school. Okay, now, oh, I forgot this one. I forgot it. Okay, this one is the IKEA pug wall clock. And here, oh, this one is a black, kind of cool clock, black clock. I think my dog wants to come in. See? She wants to come in. She's so friendly. It's my French Bulldog Max. Okay, now I'm going to do my clock collection. This one is my mirror clock. Here's my natural world cat clock, but the pendulum doesn't work. So here is my semi-golden clock. Did I forgot that clock?
Minion.
Yeah, I forgot it. There's my minion clock with gray hands and our orange second hand. Now these ones right here, I forgot them too. This one is a white wall clock. I don't remember the name on this clock. And this one is my Saljin 31-day clock. It's made by Korea. And this one is my left clock. Here's my clock. That's a station clock. Oh, I forgot these two clocks. The colorful clock is the Lebu clock, and the other one is the doubly color turning clock. And oh, I forgot. Here's a clock. This one is a tick quartz clock. And here's my silver clock, my Klaus Olsson clock. We buy this actually from Klaus Olsson. It's a store. And And here's is a Abbey clock. Here's my clock that we buy in a holiday, and it's called Punta Cana. It was so hot in there, and we have swim in a beach and a pool, and in a boat we saw a starfish. And someone was holding a starfish.
And you were swimming with?
The dolphins. And it was so fun that I was with the dolphins. It was so cool.
Yes.
I love dolphins. There are safety dolphins. If I can't swim, dolphins can save me.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to be doing my clock. Here is a alarm clock, and it's also taped. Here's Big Ben. Take a closer look. And this is a bus. This is a bus.
Yes.
It's called a double-decker bus. And this is the clock tower, Big Ben. And here is my helicopter clock, but it doesn't work. I'm gonna just change a new battery. And there is my anniversary clock. We buy this anniversary clock only 1 year ago.
Yes.
There goes that one. Okay, here is my clock that you can spin the clock face. Okay, now here's my Prime alarm clock, my black kind of alarm clock, and these ones. Here is my drawer clock. There is a pocket watch in it. There, and I'm gonna show it a closer look. Here, I'm gonna press this button to see the clock. Here's the clock. It shows 7 o'clock, but it doesn't work, but I still like it. Here are my 2 clocks inside. This one is a close-sun alarm clock, and this one is a black alarm clock. And this is the clock, and it has death batteries. They're not working. Okay, now here is a travel alarm clock. It has a red case on it and a little bit gold here. And the hands just glows at the dark. My dog wants to see my clocks. Here is my kind of Seiko alarm clock. Here's my robot alarm clock. The arm just broke because it fell, but I like it. Okay, let's move on. Here is my Slava alarm clock. I want to change the time. Can I change the time? Okay. I want like this because it's cool. Here's my turquoise clock, my car clock, and it's quartz. Here is my Paris alarm clock, the lander alarm clock, but the thing is missing. Here is a kind of white square clock, but it's an alarm clock, but it hasn't, there's no alarm hand, but I still like it. Here is my rabbit clock, but the ears are missing because it fell. I still like it. There's no glass because we buy it without glass, but I still like it. Here is my West Clocks alarm clock. And it says West Clocks right there. Okay, let's move on. Here is my Eiffel Tower alarm clock. It has a very, very small alarm hand right here. Can you see it moves? It's right there. I'm gonna... Okay. Here's my bicycle mantle clock. And, oh, I love my dog. Oh. Here is this kind of clock. Here. I'm sorry that I hit the... Okay, let's move on. I'm sorry, doggy. I'm sorry. Okay. Here is a clock right here. Let's just move on, right? Here is a dealing wall clock. It goes up at the dark. And I'm gonna put this back. I love my dog. Okay. Here is a white clock. Here's a mantle clock. There's a white wall clock, and there is a black clock, and there's a square clock. And here's a station clock. Here is a quartz clock with a brown clock face on it. And here is a black clock. And you know what the brand is just a quartz black clock. And here is a colorful clock, but it has wood colors on it. But my uncle gave it to me and I like it. I can poke my finger in a number, but I don't want to do it. There is my rainbow clock and my cow clock. Now, let's go in this room. My Shanghai China clock, it's working! Finally, it's working. Here is my grandmother clock. Well, you can hear the chime if you want to. Here is my frog clock. Here's my atomic clock. I'm gonna fix that clock soon because it stopped working when I was playing the chime. Okay, here's my kind of wood clock. My uncle gave this to me. And I really like this clock. Here's my clock that is made by time. Okay, here's this clock. Here's my heart clock. I really like this clock. Let's move on. There's my kitchen clock. Here is my football watch. Here's my kitchen timer. Here's my musical alarm clock. It plays music like this. It's from my birthday. It plays orchestral music. Let's put it here. Okay, I'm gonna close this door now. Let's move on. Here are my clocks that I have drawn. This one is the Breitling one, and this one is the Rolex one. I draw them cool. And this one is the hour night clock that I have drawn, and it is my clock room. I draw it so beautiful. They're the best drawing clocks. And here's my mid-century clock. Okay. Here is my time to scratch clock. I was falling and I broke the glass, but I didn't mean to. But I don't need the glass anymore. Here's my secret hiding clock. It's like a box clock, but it is a secret hiding clock. Box. There are 2 clocks in there. This one is an antique mantle clock, and this one is a more time silver alarm clock. Oh, and I forgot something. There's the movement on that clock. It has an oval clock face, and it has beautiful flowers, and there's a butterfly. And here is my silver wall clock. Here is a clock, but the second hand is in trouble. And here is my Tempest Future clock. It's a grandfather clock, you know. Here is my alarm clock on the top of my grandfather clock. Here is my ruined alarm clock. Here is my doggy clock, but it doesn't work. Here's my Nintendo Switch. Here is my Extinction clock and my stickers wall clock, my Paris clock, and that clock. And there's a travel alarm clock, but it's quartz. Here's my digital clock, but it has alarm 2:00 a.m. Here's my Loris alarm clock, my Superman Lego watch. There's my hallway clock, and that clock, anniversary. Okay, here's my fire truck watch. And here is my alarm clock. And the last one is that clock right there. Thank you for watching.